In today's Leeds news, Javi Gracia emerges as new favourite. This week's loan watch and information on Joe Gallagher's Sunderland loan. Hey folks, Jer here on Monday, the 20th of February with your Leeds news. Late today. Apologies, sorting out some wedding stuff. So busy morning, but probably a good idea to wait a little bit today because we get a chance to see the news that is coming in. And we'll get into this and we'll start off. We'll cover a loan watch at the end and the players that are out on loan this weekend got on. Some detail about how Joffy's getting on at Sunderland as well. But we'll start with the main story that's floating around. And according to multiple sources, Leeds are in advanced talks with Javi Gracia as a possibility of coming in as the Leeds manager. It's not a one-horse race. Rafa Benitez odds have also shortened. Espirito Santo is also still in the mix. Leeds haven't spoken to him last week. There hasn't been a final decision made on him, and the club haven't been in touch since the back end of last week. So this has come out from multiple sources. However, Fabrizio Romano, who seems to be getting all of his information directly from Radrizzani, has said that the club will make a decision soon on the manager appointment. He says an internal decision. So they've kept themselves very quiet over the last week. We've got a huge game against Southampton at the weekend and what could be an absolute melting pot and a tipping point for Leeds towards this board come the weekend. It's important to get this decision right and get somebody in before then. Garcia is described as having done a very good job at Watford. It's a tough job, Watford, to do a good job because they're very much the Polo family, the Pozzo family are very much in the Massimo Cellino bracket of managers where they sacked him on a regular basis every couple of months if results go their way. But he was one of the first managers to actually get an extension on his initial 18-month contract, and he did keep them to their highest place finish in the Premier League, kept them safe, and also got to an FA Cup final in 2021. So there is a pedigree in this league and at this level. So that's interesting to see. When he took over Watford at Marco Silva, they described what happened and the changes that he made was nothing major, no wholesale changes, but more like little touches here and there and little tweaks to get them over the line. What he did do then in the summer when that came was he overhauled how they played. He likes to play with a back three at times. He's also known to play 4-2-3-1. And recently he has alternated between a 4-2-2-2, which was similar to Jesse Marsh's style, but without the panic, I suppose, from the front, the chaos creation. But he is also known to play a 4-4-2 with very high wingers, which can look like a 4-2-4. So pretty much every system on the book. His primary ones are 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1. But in situations where results are needed, he has been able to play with a back three. Personally, I'd like to see Leeds play with a back three. I think that would give enhance the strengths of our players at the back line and also hide a few of the weaknesses that we have there as well. I think you'd also get an awful lot more out of Junior Firpo, Luke Ayling and Rasmus Christensen as fullbacks with three men behind him covering that position. So, so his coaching career has been interesting. He spent a lot of time, not a lot of time, but he's been at a lot of clubs over a long time. At Malaga, he had 2 seasons there, finishing 9th and 8th. At Ruben Kazan, he had 1 season there with a 9th place finish. Watford, he actually lost his first game at Watford to Southampton, 1-0 away. So could be his first game at Leeds, could be Southampton as well, if he comes in. And he did keep Watford in the Premier League and got their highest place finish in the division as well. At Valencia, it didn't work out particularly well from 1 year there in a 14th place finish, but he will be familiar with Rodrigo. And then he spent some time at Al Sadd as well, and he won a league title there. So currently, he's been here. He knows the division. He knows the pressures. He's also been in relegation dogfights, and he's also come into a club halfway through a season. So there's a lot of little things there that he's very, very used to. You wouldn't call him a relegation expert, but he is used to coming into clubs mid-season and trying to get a tune out of them. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on and keep an ear to the ground, see what happens there. Personal opinion on it, again, it's probably in that bracket of managers where I'm like, yeah, it's probably fine. I mean, I don't have a huge emotional reaction to Javi Gracia. I think I prefer Benitez or I prefer Nuno at this point. But at the same time, given the job that he did with Watford and the struggles every other Watford manager has had, if that's the benchmark, and we are in that dogfight, maybe he's the right one. Maybe he's the right dog to have in the fight. Maybe he is the right one. We'll have to wait and see, as we always say. But it's an interesting one to start off with. Moving on, let's have a quick look at the loan watch and finish up on some nice things. Ian Poveda scored for Blackpool this week, getting back in to the team since Mick McCarthy has taken over. Mick McCarthy raving about him as well, saying that the fans and the players are loving what he's bringing to the game. It's taken him a couple of weeks to get back into the team, but a good goal. And hey, for the championship next year, he's doing all the right things, isn't he? Charlie Creswell has another 90 minutes under his belt, 3 games on the bounce for Charlie now, and their 3-2 win over Sheffield United, who are chasing promotion. That's a huge step for Millwall to help them towards the playoff positions as well. Cody Dram went off for 32 minutes against Burnley and their 1-0 defeat. I haven't seen a huge amount of details of what happened to him, but he went off after half an hour. I'm assuming it's either an injury or a system shift. There was a red card in that game, but not till after Cody had gone off. Joffy, let's talk about Joffy. Another game under his belt for Sunderland against Bristol City in a 1-1 draw. He played 60 minutes in this game. Antonio Mowbray was talking about the player afterwards and saying that it's been tough to integrate him with the way their games have been recently. But what he has said is he's got a great left foot. He's getting in fantastic positions, and he just needs that first goal, and he reckons the floodgates will open. So that's doing okay. They're all doing okay down there at the moment, and we'll keep an eye on them and let you know how they're getting on if you're not watching it. So, and that's pretty much it. Pretty quiet. Let me know what you think about the Javi Garcia one. Possibly is a move to the end of the season, but as I said, it's not the only name in the mix. Rafa and Nuno there again. Just not an overly emotional reaction to this one either. So we'll have to wait and see. If you want to know our opinions on the weekend's game against Nottingham Forest, we were on Just Joe's show on Sunday night. You can check that out on Joe's channel as well. I'll link it above, up here somewhere. It'll pop up now. And you can have a look at that as well. Not the positive stuff where we would like to see, but unfortunately sometimes we have to be realistic about things, and the weekend was a bad stain on Leeds season, a pretty poor performance by the players. I think the players have to stand up and take responsibility. We saw this last year against Aston Villa as well, where players just seemed to stop working, and it took the fans to get on their back for them to kickstart again. And maybe that's needed. Maybe that's needed again, but we'll have to wait and see what happens this weekend. Fingers crossed we get this appointment in, we can settle down a bit coming into the Southampton game, and hopefully everything goes well against Southampton. So we don't see what could potentially happen in Ellen Road if things go badly at the weekend. So fingers crossed on that. And that's pretty much it for me for a day, folks. Thanks very much as always for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with some more Leeds news. See you then. Bye.